This is the thing that fascinates me too. Guys are just like, I'm tired of going around and paying up chicks and the rejection rate is high. And I'm like, yeah, I know it is. Because you're not supposed to do cold approach forever. You're supposed to do it for like a short period of time, like a couple of months, where you just get really good and you just understand that you got past the fear and you can approach girls and you don't give a fuck with people about rejection. Once you get to that point and you've hooked up with a couple of chicks, then you go, okay, I can do that now. And then structure your life in a way where you're going to run into a bunch of hot girls who are doing what you like to do anyway, and it's just way more natural. And because you have the balls to approach a random girl on the street, suddenly it's not that hard during a fucking salsa class or a yoga class or a book reading club or one of a million fucking things you can go on meetup.com and meet people who love doing what you love doing. You know what I'm saying? It's suddenly really easy. You're sitting next to a girl in some class. Hey, how's it going? Good. This is fun, isn't it? Sure is. Blah, 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 blah. So, you want to get a fucking tea after this? Because you're fucking awesome. Yeah, we should. Excellent. Great. You know what I'm saying? It's just a good skill to get your fucking rejections in and stop giving a shit. Go and do cold approach. Awesome. But don't do it for forever. Jesus Christ.
Hey guys, this is Mike Doretto here to break down and analyze the clip that you just watched. Now, Sasha recorded that video years ago, and this is actually still a problem that a lot of our students continue to have, including our bootcamp graduates. So if you're one of those, pay attention. What Sasha's talking about in this clip is the fact that cold approach is a very low probability activity. What do I mean by that? So cold approach is by nature low likelihood of success. When you're out on the street and you're meeting random people walking by, you have no idea what's going on in their lives or if you have anything in common at all. You see an attractive person walking down the street, you want to go approach them. The only thing you know is that they're attractive and you want to go meet them. So there's tons and tons of reasons why this person might not be reciprocative, why they might not be interested in you. It could have to do with looks and attraction. It could have to do with the fact that you just have completely separate lives. When you're out on the street, those are the odds that you run into. A lot of people think, oh, I can't approach people during the day. I can't do cold approach. So if I only had that skill, my life would be made. And it is true in the sense that once you learn, if you go from zero to mastering cold approach, you're definitely going to be meeting an order of magnitude more women and potential partners than you would have before. So you are much more likely to find some type of success. But what Sasha's talking about is if you're only doing cold approach, it's going to feel like a lot of no's before you get a yes. So why is cold approach such low probability? Well, that's the way of nature. If you look around and you see how many pollen particles are released into the air that actually germinate and become trees or flowers, how many tadpoles get born that are actually survive and grow up into adult frogs, the answer is not many. Rejection is the default mode of nature, right? So when you're out there just doing random, you're not controlling for the environment at all, you can expect there to be a lot of people that are not going to be a match for you. This is normal. We shouldn't get discouraged by this. But what do we do about it? Like Sasha said, we want to structure our lives such that we are putting ourselves in a position, in environments, warm environments, to meet other people that have the same passions and interests that we do. So what qualifies as a warm environment? Basically anything like I just described. You're in the same class, could be cooking. You're in the same activity, could be yoga, could be rock climbing. You've gone to meetup.com and you've gone to an organization for people who like the same comic book you do. All of these places are warm environments because you automatically have at least one topic of conversation in common to have with other people. So that makes it not cold. It gives you a little bit of background. Everybody at least knows, oh, we like this same thing. So these environments are much easier to function in if you've already spent enough time getting good at cold approach. I'll give you a story from my own life. After I had done my boot camp and I'd done my training, I saw an advertisement for a Match.com singles mixer. And what a singles mixer is it's basically an event at a bar or a club where you already know everybody there is single. So it's a perfect warm environment. You know that they're single, you know that they're looking, and now the question is just, do you actually have anything in common? Well, I got to the event, and I got there pretty early. I got there when the thing started, when the doors opened. And as soon as I opened the door to the bar, it led right to the bar area, and it was just a wall of dudes. Just a wall of dudes, 4 rows deep, and they're all waiting to get their drink on, right? Because for them, they need to be a little drunk before they can actually go approach people. They're not practiced in cold approach. They're not practiced in approaching anybody. So most of those guys took over an hour to get warm enough to start talking to people, to start talking to the women at the event. Me, on the other hand, I talked to every woman that I wanted to talk to before those guys were done getting their drinks. I already had my phone numbers. I had already made inroads with a few people. As a matter of fact, after the event was over, I went and met up with one of the women that I met at the event that same night. She had left the event like an hour or so before me, and I texted her and said, hey, I'm out of the event. Are you still around? And she's like, yeah, come over. So that's why we train cold approach, so we can take that into warm environments. Now, one thing Sasha mentioned was that it should take you about 2 or 3 months of practice before you stop doing cold approach and move into to restructuring your life. I'm gonna go and say that it takes a lot longer than that. Now, 2 or 3 months, if you are carving out enough time, if you are committed to it, if you're one of those young guys and you got nothing to do besides practice pickup, then yeah, sure, 2 or 3 months, no problem. If you're doing it every single day for 2 or 3 months, of course, you're gonna make progress pretty quick. But if you're a little bit older, you don't have as much time to dedicate to it, maybe you're only practicing for a few hours every Saturday, that's obviously gonna take you a little bit longer until you feel like you've achieved that mastery that we've discussed earlier in the video. So to sum it all up, once you've mastered cold approaching, you now want to take your newfound skill set and take that into a warm environment. That's what's key. That's what Sasha's talking about in the video, where he's mentioning meetup.com and yoga classes and cooking classes and things like that. What are your passions? Follow your passions, especially the co-ed ones, the ones where there are women who are also passionate about the thing. Follow your passions to environments where you can meet women, or if you're a woman, meet men, that are into the same things as you, the very same thing. So when you're at rock climbing class, just as Sasha says, you turn to the next person and you say, hey, this is a great time we're having, isn't it? Hi, my name's Mike. What's yours?
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Gabe.
You ready for the best ride in the park?
You told me it was better than sex.
Really?
And right away, we're beginning an interaction that's already off to a better foot than a cold approach could be. Because with the cold approach, remember, we got to introduce ourselves, we got to say why we're there, we want to be direct, oh, I thought you were cute, I wanted to get to know you, blah, blah, blah. And then we have to find out, oh, what are you passionate about? What are you into? Where do we have compatibility? You have to figure that out on the street. If instead you're in an environment, you're in your painting class, you're in your yoga class or something like that, you already know. You've got something in common. We can start off with that conversation. And then it's just a matter of, are you each other's physical type? If you are, then you should be able to set up that date relatively easily.
And we're still on for dinner tonight, right?
Of course we are.
Thanks.
And if you've chosen the right warm environment, if you've chosen one where there's a shuffling of people, you see new faces each time you go to the class or the event, then you've kind of got a situation where you have dates on tap. As long as you are polite enough and you don't get a negative reputation in that scene, you treat everyone properly, you can basically make it like your girlfriend's store, whatever your warm environment is. I joke that my warm environment would be medical marijuana dispensaries, because there's always so many attractive women that work there, and we already know that we're into the same thing. That would be, so I would go there, I'd pick up my healing herbs, and then hit on all the girls that work there. That could be one potential situation. Maybe you guys want to start off with a yoga class or just the gym or something like that. But in any case, get your cold approach skills nice and sharp. Make sure you can be successful when you're playing the game on hard, and then take those skills into the easy environment and clean up like taking candy from a baby. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Again, this is Mike Doretto. If you're interested in training with us, click the application link below and get out there and be ballsy.